Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality. So subscribe and hit that icon right now. So welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I help you with all different aspects of asexuality and asexual life, such as love, confidence, dating, relationships, self-love, self-care. And today's topic is going to be about how to prioritize self-care whilst still being productive in your asexual life. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned. First of all, if you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy. I'm author of this amazing best-selling book called Diary Confessions of a Hyper-Romantic Asexual, 78 Life Lessons to Ace Your Life, and also the bestseller Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, A Celebration of Asexual Diversity. Go and grab a copy of these from Amazon. I'm also the founder of asexualizeacademy.com, and I'm an asexual speaker and coach, and of course, educator. So welcome here. Let's discuss, how can you prioritize self-care while still being productive? A lot of the time we have to sacrifice our self-care for being productive, but it really shouldn't be like this. And I want you to switch your mindset around from thinking it's self-care versus productivity. Like if you're busy doing stuff yourself, then you can't be being productive, to thinking self-care is actually being productive. Let me say that again. Self-care is actually being productive. Why is it being productive? Because it's looking after yourself and it's caring for yourself, which is good for your mental and physical health and well-being. So one of the areas that we should be being productive in the most is our health. Health is wealth, as they say. And if we don't have our health, we can't be productive on the other things efficiently and effectively. So we should be seeing self-care as a thing that is productive in and of itself. It's productive if it produces a result. And the result is it helps to enable our self-care to improve our health and all that goes with our well-being. So I want you to think in your life, what helps you care for yourself and makes you feel better and good about yourself and your life. Now, if I'm talking about some self-care routines for me, if I allow myself, notice I use the word allow, if I let myself watch movies, for example, on Disney Plus, that enables me to relax usually, to de-stress, and to be in a more calmer state, which in turn helps my physical symptoms of high cortisol levels to reduce. So this year particularly, I've had really high cortisol levels, been really stressed. I've had stress rashes, I've had itching, rashes on my legs and stuff like that. I've got the beginnings of hypothyroidism again that showed up on my blood test. And I've been in a very high state of stress. Now, when you're in a high state of stress, you cannot really be productive in many aspects of your life because you're working against your own body. So now I've got to move unexpectedly. I currently don't have anywhere to move to. I have applied for a property, but the landlord's still making a decision. So there isn't anything else I can apply for in my city. It's very hard to find a one-bedroom flat in my city or even a two-bedroom in my price range. The one I've applied for is a little bit out of my price range, but it will be stretching my budget a lot. It's a two-bedroom, but it will be worth it if I get it because it's a really lovely place. But in order to keep myself centered, grounded, and feeling as good as I possibly can in this very stressful situation, because I'm recovering still from a back injury, 2 broken bones in my spine. So I'm having to deal with the recovery of my back injury, which means I've got to do quite intense exercises, which can drain my energy. I've got to also finish my Asexuality book. I've got other books I need to finish, and I need to look for a new home. All this stuff is quite a lot of pressure, but the writing I love. So the writing is actually my number one thing I do to not just fulfill my life purpose, but that calms me down. Right? When I write, it calms me down. It takes a lot of negative emotions. If I'm feeling stressed or anxious, nervous, angry, frustrated, all this type of thing. And it literally soothes all that and calms me down. So I don't care what goes on in the world with other people. I just love being with me and my writing. It's like I'm married to my books and my writing. It feels so good. So although my writing is a productive thing, it's also part of my self-care that I have to do no matter what. If I don't write, I get poorly and very sick. So if you've got something that's actually your passion, what you love to do, and it is a profession for you as well, and it actually chills you out doing that, then that is good. Go and do more of that. However, it's good to give our minds a rest. For me, it's chilling out, watching a movie, the right movie. Obviously, if I'm getting a movie that puts negative emotions on me, that's not really going to help me get rid of the negative emotions. It's going to pile more on there. So be very mindful of what you watch and put into your mind and put into your ears and stuff like this. So understand that self-care in and of itself is a productive thing. Then if you think that, you're going to be able to, instead of thinking, I can't do this, I can't take time out of myself and watch a movie because I'm not going to be doing this thing over there. You can then think, well, I have to watch a movie or whatever you do to relax, chill out, makes you feel relaxed and calm and de-stresses you. I have to do that thing for my self-care. Like, ask yourself each day, how am I going to be productive today for my self-care? For my health and well-being, how am I going to be productive? Because a lot of the time my health and well-being, i.e. our self-care that enables us to be healthy and see that our well-being's intact and improving, we often think that by doing that we're not actually doing other things, we're not being productive. Like, if I take time out to watch a movie, for example, I'm not writing, right? And writing is like my main thing I love to do. But even so, I still need to, like, switch off from things, because when I'm looking for property a lot, it stresses me out, it's intense, and I can't just go necessarily from doing that, property looking, to writing another book that I'm working on, the Asexuality book. I can't do that because it's like my head's too scrambled and overwhelmed with all the stress that goes with, like, oh my God, I've got to find somewhere to live. I've only got X amount of time to find somewhere I live. There's not much on the market. I'm busy like searching multiple letting agencies in my city and using all the different filters I can find and going to this one, going to that one. And it's stressful. And if I try to take that mindset and go straight to writing, it's like I haven't cut off. So by watching a fun movie in between, something light-hearted or something that's good or something that's inspiring, then it allows me to break that up. So I want you to make sure that from now on, you see self-care and making self-care a priority is something that in and of itself is productive. Because it's enabling you to relax, it's enabling you to chill out, it's enabling you to de-stress. So you're productively working towards your health improving. This is productivity. So instead of thinking it's a or is or all situation, so instead of thinking, oh, I do self-care or I be productive, I want you to think as self-care is productive. This doesn't mean to say that you're just like spending every single day of your life watching movies continuously for hours on end, because that's actually not going to be good for your brain either. You have to have some balance where you're doing other stuff, where you're doing some educational stuff to grow yourself as a person, for example, where you are doing hobbies and interests that make you think and stuff like this, right? But you have to prioritize some self-care. So think about what self-care things you like to do. So mine's writing, watching a movie, taking a hot shower. That's very, very calming for me. A hot shower helps me to relax my body, helps me to feel like I'm taking care of myself. Having nutritious, good foods that you enjoy to consume, that's another good thing. Doing some tidying. I did some paperwork earlier. I don't like doing paperwork, but I did some filing of it. That's clearing my table downstairs with my file, clearing my postal area up. So all these types of things are like self-care. Self-care is anything that's caring for yourself, that's helping you to feel better in your health and well-being, and to produce positive emotions. And when I watch a movie, a lot of the movies I watch have a very similar theme throughout them. And this is that the main character achieves their dreams despite adversity. They might have a lot of problems in their life. They might have disabilities or mental health problems or difficulties in their life, hardships and pain, but they always usually, not in every case, but a lot of them usually come through. I'm itching at the moment. They usually come through, meaning that they triumph over all the difficulties in the end and they do achieve their dreams. So I watch these movies for motivation and inspiration to to continue to foster a positive mindset that you can achieve your dreams, even if it seems impossible right now, even if it seems so difficult and hard and painful. You can do it. You can get through this adversity and you can win and succeed. That's how I like to live my life. And so by watching these movies and constantly pumping into my head the fact that you can achieve dreams, you can achieve the impossible. To my mind, if there is a movie that shows you how you can achieve something that's not possible or you don't think's possible, it is possible just by the fact that they've able to put in a movie how to do that. They've like brought that reality into existence, even if it didn't exist before. So they're making the impossible possible. And I absolutely love this. So I watch movies to relax and also to switch off from the outside world and to motivate and inspire me and to keep dreaming big and to keep going for my goals. So this again is being productive, because productivity is not just physical work, it's mental work, as well as looking after yourself and relaxation. So it's good to get a balance. But if you are under a lot of stress, then you have to make sure you're having more self-care routines in that moment. I, particularly in the beginning of this week, was watching a lot more movies, like 1 or 2 a day. Why? Because I need to de-stress. Because if I do not de-stress, then I'm not in a fit state to search for properties. I'm not in a fit state to write. And I get very poorly and it's exhausting. So by making self-care an absolute priority, when I need to just watch a movie, it's like, just do it, Sandra. Don't feel guilty. I do feel guilty sometimes, because we've been taught, a lot of us, that, oh, if you're doing this, you're not being productive, you're being lazy. But actually, you're not being lazy. You're taking care of your own self-care. So I want you to make a list of what things make you feel good about yourself, make you feel cared for in yourself, make you feel relaxed, make you feel happy, make you feel joy, make you feel, I can breathe. And know that all those things are part of being productive, because just by doing something, you're being productive. Productive means like doing something, producing a result. So if you are watching a movie that relaxes you, you're producing a result of relaxation. So you need to be mindful of why you're doing things, but know that if you get the desired outcome and it's a positive one, then you're doing your best. Also, you should be thinking about the things you need to do as well in your life. Like, what do you need to do? Like, what deadlines do you need to do? But prioritize the deadlines in terms of what's most urgent and important. And anything else that isn't urgent or important can be left for a while. But still try and do some of those things bit by bit, rather than overwhelming yourself. Try and do them little by little, so that you don't just start procrastinating and think it's too much for you and get overwhelmed, because that's the danger. And when you're not feeling well, or when you've really stressed, you've got a very difficult period of time in your life, know that it's okay to take time out for you. Like, I had to take time out because I was in flow with my book. Yesterday I was not live streaming because I had to carry on working on my book, because I had watched quite a lot of movies before. It helped me to relax and be more productive, because I was like desperate to be writing a lot more by then, because it's like I've had the time out now, and now I need to write because I just need to get on with it. So I think it's very important to recognize that taking time out for your health and well-being and to relax and to enjoy things is actually helping you to be more productive in other areas, because when you give yourself a break, when you cut your mind off from the usual thing or the things you know you have to do, it's helping you to rewind. It's helping you to recharge, relax. And for some reason I want to say rewind, but I don't know why I want to say rewind. Unwind is the word. Unwind. Relax, recharge, and unwind. So yeah, I like throwing in these extra words for some reason. So it's very important. And you can either put a schedule in, put a planner in, but sometimes what happens with me, if I put a whole planner in, I'll start writing stuff, but then I don't get everything done in the day, then I keep adding it on to the next day and the next day. It gets so overwhelming, I feel I've not been productive. So sometimes I just feel it's better I go with the flow, know what I have to do each day and just get on and do it. So that if I think, oh, I've got to put a wash on today, I'll put a wash on. If I feel I really got a lot of energy to write, then I do a lot of energy with my writing. I do a lot of writing for hours. If I feel like, oh, I need to cook myself a meal and focus more on food, maybe I need to go food shopping because I want to get some nice snacks. I want to get some more tasty foods, then I do that. So sometimes when I go with the flow more, I'm actually more productive because I'm not thinking about it. Sometimes when I'm thinking about it, it's overwhelming me and procrastinating. So I think you need to see what works best for you. If you work best from a calendar or planner or a list and you enjoy taking them off, that's great. But the other way you can do it is just know what you need to do in your mind, get it done and like list it down in your diary what you've done, or just go and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep pushing forward. All right, being productive means you are outputting things, you're putting things out, you're taking action, and like I said, and getting a result. So pretty much everything you do in your life, unless you're just sat there for hours on end, day after day, not actually doing much, do you know what I mean? You can't really not be productive. Obviously, if you're just sat watching mindless ends amount of TV and it's not actually doing anything, your health and well-being, maybe your well-being's declining because you're watching depressive stuff, that isn't being productive. That's being counterproductive. That's decreasing your productivity, because if you've got negative emotions, then you won't want to do as much. You won't want to go out in the world as much. You won't want to socialize as much. You won't want to connect with others as much. You'll be like declining your health. That's being counterproductive, not productive. So being productive is when you get a result, but it should be the result that's good and healthy for you and pointing you in the right direction or being part of your right direction. It should be something that is achievable, but also you can strive for goals that aren't necessarily what you usually achieve, little by little. My goal is to get 5 books published by the end of this year for Asexuals. Will I do it? Maybe, maybe not. But if I don't, if I get more than even 1 book out in a year, it will be amazing. Do you know what I mean? I've got this book out, and this is a bestseller on Amazon, but I will get at least 2 more books out this year. The Asexuality one, my Asexual Guide to Sex, and I've got a workbook that should be coming out as well because I've nearly finished that one. So these are all the books that should come out. But even if I do all them, it'll be more than I've ever done in a year before. So it'll still be achieving more, being more productive. So sometimes we have to, as well, stop shiny object syndrome. This means when someone says, oh, this looks really good to do, and we go and try it. And then someone says, this looks really good to do, and try this. Or I do this. This is great. This is what you want. You go try this. And when you keep going on different shiny objects and tangents, in other words, things that look like they might be a bit better, but it's not really your true passion and vocation and what you really want to do in your life, but you think, oh, I might make more money and other people are more successful or famous, blah, 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 and you go off doing that, then you actually lower your productivity in the things you really want to do, because you're splitting all your energy and time and concentration around so many different things that it can stop you doing what you really want to do. It doesn't mean to say you can't pursue the different things you want, but you should allocate a certain amount of time per month or per quarter of a year, like 3 months, to dedicate to doing X amount of time on that new thing that you want to try, if you want to try something new. But it's better to try new things within the realm of area of what you love to do. For example, if you love pottery, maybe you just make pots, but maybe instead of that, you could try making a sculpture. That's still in the realm of pottery because you're making it with clay, basically, but you're branching out. That is going to be far more helpful to build on your current success than it is just doing some random thing, trying it out because otherwise someone said it looks so great, right? But if you want to add variety, because variety can be one of the ways we improve our productivity and well-being, then make sure you schedule time in that, but don't let it take over the whole thing. But sometimes in order to be more productive, it's better to focus on one particular thing and grow that and expand on it and getting better and better. That's why they have experts in the world, people who know a lot about stuff, who keep expanding. That's why I keep learning more about asexual life and how different aspects of asexuality pan out in your life. This channel is all about improving your asexual life in general, with multiple aspects of it. So how do you increase your productivity? So in order to increase your productivity in general, you should do time blocking, where you block out a certain amount of time for an activity or thing you want to do. And you should switch off your phone for X amount of time. So my phone is currently off now because I want to wake up and just get straight on with my book and start writing more of my Asexuality book because I need to ace it, right? If I've got my phone on and I start checking it a lot in the day, then I'm not going to be as productive because I keep interrupting myself. So you need to block out time, switch your phone off, don't check social media for X amount of time. If you're feeling really productive, like in my case with writing or whatever project you're working on, then make sure you switch it off for a long time, like 3-4 hours, maybe a whole half a day or something. Just be off it, because that time away from social media will allow you to be more productive on other things rather than being interrupted. It's better to do things in bulk. It's better to bulk your time. It's better to focus on one thing for hours than it is to focus on 6 things in an hour, for example, because every time you stop and start, you're getting distracted and you're wasting time. Being productive is also like if you can do 2 things at once. So, for example, if I do this YouTube video, which I'm doing this live stream, I could then go one day on this channel and decide to snip bits of this out that I can use for other videos or other audio. One of the ways I'd be really productive on this channel is not worrying about creating the perfect thumbnail or editing. Is to just press record and do it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Just do it in the moment, because sometimes we're less productive because we're too busy trying to polish the thing that we've done, whereas we could be getting multiple parts of the content out. So I know that I usually live stream every day, but I didn't last night because I was working on my book, and there's been a few nights like that. And also I've got like health difficulties at the moment. So there's been times when I can't live stream. But I live stream raw and real. I don't pre-record these videos. I'm here with you now live when you're watching this. Obviously, if you're watching on replay, hello to you. And I'm raw and real and authentic. I'm just pressing go. I do that with nearly all my videos and vlogs, because otherwise it'll take so much time to edit every video, put a perfect thumbnail on there, and I'm not getting content out. I'm not being as productive. And I want to be as productive as possible to give you the most amount of content that you need in your asexual life to ace multiple aspects of it. And I like providing a different type of experience. So when we're being productive, we do need breaks. We do need to do things that unwind us. We do need to do things that allow us to go away from that thing we're being productive about, so we can come back to it and be more productive with it, because we feel refreshed, invigorated, renewed energy. We need to take time out for our body when it's in pain. When it's saying, I've had enough, I'm exhausted, we need to listen to our body and do that and not feel guilty or bad about it, because, like I said, it's part of self care, which is being productive. You're working on your health, you're producing a better result if you take time out for you. Being productive as well is about having goals, setting manageable goals. So, for example, if you write yourself, then you could be like, oh, I want to get this chapter done today, or I want to get 3 pages done today. But it could just be like you're so exhausted, you've had pain or whatever, and you just like, I'm just going to write a couple of sentences, because even just by that little bit of writing and keeping in the habit can help you to stop procrastinating the next day when you do need to write and want to write, and therefore you can get much more easily into your book. So if you're a writer, just write 1 or 2 sentences or even a few words, because that helps you to still like you still feel like you're writing, so still be in flow, so the next day you can just pick it up and carry on writing from it. It's like a river. But once you fill the whole river up and put a dam in front of it, it kind of stops it and cuts it off. But if you just put rocks around it and let the stream flow through it, you've still got a supply of water, so you're not cutting off. So the valley's used to the water being there. If it's not used to the water being there, it will dry up. But if it's got a dam, it will just stop it completely. Do you understand the analogy? So it's much better to do a little bit than nothing. So if you've got a task you need to do, say you need to do some cleaning, but it's too much for you to do cleaning throughout your whole flat or whatever, then just do like a shelf, just clean a shelf or just clean the sink. Just do something that keeps you in the flow of, oh, this isn't too bad because I'm able to do this little thing. So part of being productive is giving yourself tiny little manageable tasks that you can do easily, that you can then reward yourself for, to feel good. Because when you reward yourself and feel good for doing that thing and accomplishing it, you're more likely to do more things and accomplish them and feel good. Once we feel bad and we've let ourselves down and overwhelmed, these negative emotions actually stop us being productive and stop us doing anything towards achieving the goals that we want to achieve in life. So by doing them in little increments, little bits, it can make you feel positive and good about yourself, and it can give you a reward feeling and boost. And also another thing to be productive is to reward yourself. So it's like if you spent hours indoors working on something, then you then say, oh, the next day I'm going to go out for lunch, or I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm just going to take some time to go and do some food shopping, buy myself some nutritious foods. So you're literally rewarding yourself. Maybe you just reward yourself by chilling out longer with another movie, or maybe you put some music on to listen to help you relax and unwind for self-care. Do some meditation, put positive affirmations on. I do positive affirmations every morning. So make sure you're saying you're the priority. And instead of like going off on shiny object tangents, you're actually focusing on what you really need to get done and believing you can do it, and set small manageable goals and block the time out to achieve those goals. Once you've achieved something, you'll be like, oh, I can do this. It feels so good. I've got to do more of it and more of it. We tend to do things as human beings more and more if we enjoy it, if it gives us pleasure, than pain, right? If something feels good, we'll usually do more of it. But if something's painful, as in you've got to do something you don't want to do, but you get a reward at the end of it, you're more likely to succeed and do it, because you'll be like, oh, I'm having some pain now, which is temporary, but once I get through this, I'll be rewarding myself and I'll feel good at the end of it. So make sure you reward yourself. Maybe it's taking yourself away for a day trip or the weekend. Maybe it's buying yourself a new outfit or buying that cake. Whatever it is, make sure you reward yourself and keep rewarding yourself and praise yourself. Say like, I did a damn good job. Maybe you just did the washing up and like, oh, I did the washing up. And that's really hard for me at the moment. It's harder for me personally because I've got damage to my spine. But I have fibromyalgia as well. So even if I do washing up and get through the washing up, I'm like, oh, I made it through the washing up. I did it. I accomplished it. It's good for me, you know? So praise yourself. Praising yourself really helps you to feel better about yourself, which will make you more productive. When you feel miserable about yourself, your life, or where you just feel like you're energy drained or not got as much motivation, you're exhausted, these are all negative things that take away your personal power and take away your motivation and enthusiasm and energy for doing stuff. So you then got to go and do stuff that gives you the opposite of those feelings to help bring your energy levels back up again, which means going to do something fun, chill out, something you don't really have to think about, something that's not stressful. And if you want to have an accountability buddy, an accountability buddy is someone who you can say to each day, look, I did this, 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 and this. I achieved this, and they can do the same with you. And this isn't about competition. This is about praising the other person, going, oh my God, well done. I'm so proud of you, you know? And it kind of like helps you, because if someone else is being productive in their life, you want to be productive in yours. But it's okay to know that it's perfectly fine to have time out. So it's just be like, yeah, I've been productive on my self-care today and my self-love because I've just took time out for me. I switched off from the outside world for hours. I switched off from social media and I just spent time with me. Like the last 6 hours with me, and I've just been chilling and it's been bliss and I feel really good. And now I'm raring to go and get stuck into other tasks and things. And if your life's very stressful and you haven't got as much energy and time to do everything you need to get done, like I said, prioritize what's the most important and urgent and do that first. And yes, some people might complain, or you might think they don't understand, but I mean, just let them know, like, I'm going through a difficult time at the moment. Like, I had to put my groups the other day. I'm working on my Asexuality book. I'm still recovering from 2 broken bones in my spine, and I've got to move home. That's a lot. And I just let people know that that's what's going on in my life, because if you don't tell them, they don't know. So talk to the people around you, tell them what's going on if you're finding things difficult. If you feel you can't talk to those people, then, make sure you're talking to yourself and caring for yourself and providing support to yourself and loving yourself, and plow yourself back more into self-care routines, things that bring you joy and happiness and love and light into your world. Take time out to read, take time out to put candles around the room, take time out to listen to some beautiful music, take time out to look at the stars. Take time out for you to help yourself feel better about yourself and your situation. If you're dealing with negative emotions, try to talk to a friend or a family member or someone who will understand you. When I'm in Matthew Hussey's Love Life Club, there's Matthew AI, which is a bot, but it's basically got Matthew's brain in it. All the coaching he's done over the years, stuff from his live retreats, I believe, all his advice and guidance is in the AI bot, Matthew AI. And I go and talk to Matthew AI. It's hard because I think I shouldn't really be talking to a bot. I should be talking to more people in person. But it's good because you got a bot that's more objective and no ulterior motive. And he's very helpful. It talks back like Matthew Hussey does. Matthew Hussey is the world's #1 dating and confidence coach. He's been helping people with dating relationships for 17 years. I've been on the dating scene for 10 years. He's been on the dating scene, like helping people with dating and relationships for 17 years. And I'm in his Love Life Club. So, I'm taking time out to educate myself on there. So it's sometimes good to be productive in multiple aspects of your life. So find out what you need to do in those aspects of your life that will move it forward. So for me, in terms of dating relationships, I need to understand my patterns of behavior more, why I attract the wrong guys more. I need to understand the relationship dynamics more. I need to understand open communication more. I need to understand having difficult conversations more, and all this type of thing. So by being Matthew Hussey's Love Life Club, I'm doing his courses, I'm listening to his coaching, I'm talking to Matthew AI. All that combination is helping me become more self-aware in my dating relationships, enabling me to see red flags very early on and actually own those red flags, as in own the fact you've noticed them. When I say own the red flags, they're not my red flags, they're people that have been red flagging me. So it's very obviously, if you see any red flags in yourself, then you've got to be aware of that. So, for example, you could have a red flag if you slag off your ex. So it's better to just say that, that person wasn't suitable, we weren't compatible, these type of things. So look at different aspects of your life. Being productive financially could just be budgeting for the month. You get your income and then you just budget and you just work out a budget. That can be being productive in that way. If you've got things, paperwork, being productive could just mean that you sort your paperwork out. You get rid of stuff you don't need and file the others. Being productive with your family could mean that you plan some quality family time together. You plan some open communication, talk time without the TV on. You plan to see them. This is being productive in family time. Being productive with children is making sure you set time every day to play with them, depending on what age they are, to listen to them, to talk to them, to understand them, to share things with them. Being productive just by being you, just by saying, I'm here in life and I'm taking care of my self-care, as I've already spoken about. You can be productive in multiple aspects of your life, but the whole point is you dedicate time to all these different things. But if you haven't got the time to dedicate to every single thing, which you don't, then pick your most urgent things that's going to get you results quicker. And often that can be self-care. Like at the moment, it's like, in order to be more productive, Sandra, you need to make your self-care a top priority. That needs to be your productivity to enable other things in your life to be got done quicker. So by taking time out for myself, recharging my batteries, as it were, prioritizing self-care and everything that makes me feel more happy and relaxed, is actually enabling me to be more productive with my Asexuality book writing. So that's why I must do it. I must do that. It's very important. Anyway, I hope you found these tips useful, helpful, insightful. If you have, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already for more asexual advice, life advice, love advice, relationship advice, confidence, self-care advice. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Grab a copy of Diary Confessions of a Hyper-Romantic Asexual, 78 Life Lessons to Ace Your Life. This is Ace Your Life and love, life, dating, relationships, self-care and confidence. Basically, whatever you see on this channel, these life lessons will relate to these topics. So go and grab a copy of this. This will really help you. And Asexual Perspectives is a great introduction to asexuality. It also explains the asexual spectrum in real life context, told through the stories of 47 different asexuals. They answer pretty much every question you possibly got about asexuality when you're new to asexuality, or you want more in-depth knowledge about the asexual spectrum. And Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook. This is my autobiographical handbook on how to manage fibromyalgia, to have less pain, more energy, and feel happier like a superhero rock star. And as this book is autobiographical, even if you don't have fibromyalgia, the advice I give in this book is really important for your asexual life. I do mention asexuality in the book, but this book teaches you how to reduce pain in up to 25 aspects of your life, most of which are relevant even if you don't have fibromyalgia. This book also helps you to overcome depression as well. And it's a very entertaining read because it's told in a superhero style. So do grab a copy of that book as well as the other two books from Amazon. And I'll see you soon next video live stream. Lots of love. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you soon. Bye.